is Dale Kingsmill, and here I am talking to you about Greek mythology. I've taken your requests and comments from the past few episodes, I've had a look at each of them, and for this week I've decided to tackle the myth of Adonis. In the modern world, the word Adonis has become synonymous with just a really pretty guy. There are plenty of people from the last few years that many fangirls and boys the world over would consider an Adonis. Tom Hiddleston, Benedict Cumberbatch, the man your man could smell like, Chris Evans, and of course, how could you leave out that ridiculously photogenic guy? Somehow, no matter what these men do with their faces, so many people will still find them attractive and desirable. And it's this level of gorgeousness that makes them an Adonis. Now, Adonis being pretty is a really big, important part of the myth, but also keep in mind that it's actually a story of spring, and it carries all those themes of renewal and rebirth that come along with the spring myth. So the story of Adonis actually begins with his mother, Smyrna, who claimed that she was even more beautiful than the goddess Aphrodite. Aphrodite, being the goddess of beauty, was understandably a little bit offended by this. Aphrodite decided that she was going to play a hilarious prank on Smyrna, and she was going to make her fall in love with her dad. The gods are crazy! So one night, Smyrna got her dad incredibly drunk and waited in his bed for him. When he woke up the next day, he was so enraged by what had happened that he tried to kill Smyrna. And Aphrodite was completely shocked by this. She hadn't expected anything to go wrong. Trying to help out, Aphrodite turned Smyrna into a tree. Smyrna's father brought down his axe on the tree and split it in two, and as if things hadn't gotten crazy enough, a baby fell out. This was the baby Adonis. Aphrodite was so struck with guilt and shame after what she had done that she wanted to help. She wanted to take care of this baby. Unfortunately, she sucked at it. Aphrodite's idea of helping in this situation was to put the baby into a chest, lock the chest, go to the underworld, and give it to Persephone to look after. She didn't tell Persephone that there was a baby in it, she just told her to put it in a corner somewhere and not worry about it. Luckily for tiny baby Adonis, Persephone had a healthy sense of curiosity, and within about 10 minutes of receiving the chest, she'd opened it up to take a look. I don't know what she expected to find in there, but I'm willing to bet it wasn't a baby. A highly convenient 16 to 20 years later, Aphrodite thought she'd visit the underworld, have a cup of tea, have a nice chat with Persephone. While they were chatting, Adonis happened to wander through the room, and Aphrodite, seeing just how beautiful he had become, remembered the entire event and asked for the baby back. Persephone, pointing out that Aphrodite was 20 years too late, told her that she couldn't have him. Persephone could see how pretty he was, she wanted him too. The two of them took the argument to Zeus, who said ew no and made someone else do it. One of the muses made the decision for them and split the year into 3 equal thirds. Adonis was to spend 1/3 of the year with Persephone, a second with Aphrodite, and the final third he could decide what he was going to do for himself. The whole system started out pretty fair, but Aphrodite has a magic girdle that makes her look extra beautiful, so of course Adonis chose to stay with her for the extra third of the year. While those two were off making smoochies, Persephone had become so angry that she decided to go and talk to Ares. Ares was Aphrodite's predominant love interest throughout the mythologies. Ares was so jealous on hearing about Adonis that he decided to take matters into his own hands. He turned himself into a wild boar and went after Adonis. Aphrodite suspected that Ares might try to come after Adonis, and she wanted to stay and protect him, but she had to go away on business, so she just settled for a warning instead. She told him, if you see a pig in the woods, don't go near it. Just stay away and leave the pig alone. Don't mess with the pig. The warning was as clear as it could possibly get. Adonis proved completely incapable of taking care of himself, because as soon as he saw the Ares pig, all he could think of was bacon, and of course he went off to hunt the pig. Because the pig was actually the god of war, there was no contest. It managed to gore Adonis within 5 minutes. Aphrodite was close by enough that she could hear Adonis's screams. She came back into the meadow where they'd been staying. Adonis died in her arms, and Aphrodite was just on the verge of releasing her biggest, best, most Darth Vaderiest when she remembered that that she's a character in Greek mythology and the dead go to the underworld. Realizing that Persephone had orchestrated this entire thing, Aphrodite stormed into the underworld palace and demanded her boyfriend back. The entire argument sprang up again, and this time Zeus was so annoyed that he did in fact get involved. Zeus split the year into 2 equal halves, and from then on Adonis was to spend the colder months in the underworld with Persephone, but he would return in the spring to spend the warmer months with Aphrodite in the mortal world. And that is how Adonis became a symbol for spring. He's sort of like the equivalent of a bunny rabbit, but really pretty. So that's the story of Adonis, a man so attractive that he had 2 immortals fighting over him. 3 if you count Ares. Leave any suggestions or requests you might have in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit all those buttony things. You know what to do. Catch you next time with another Greek myth.